Hey guys, Joe DeMarco from the Crazy New York Driver Show. Today is Tuesday, December 25th, 2018. Today we're going to take an in-depth look at the Brooklyn Promenade and the BQE Cantilevered Roadway. The reason I've chosen for this exploration video is because this entire section is scheduled to be demolished and rebuilt in the near future. And I think that it's really important that we look at the way it is right now, because this is a part of history. Consult the map on the screen in front of you. We're going to start right here at Atlantic Avenue. We're going to continue this way all the way to the Brooklyn Bridge. We're first going to explore the promenade itself. Then we're going to explore both levels of the Cantilevered Roadway, then Furman Street, and then Brooklyn Bridge Park. Now let me give you an idea of what a cantilevered roadway is. This is the BQE where we're going to be today. Where I'm standing now on the bottom is Furman Street. The next level up is the BQE heading towards Staten Island. The next level up is the BQE heading towards Queens. And on the very top is the Brooklyn Promenade itself. There has been talk that when these sections are demolished and rebuilt, they may demolish the promenade, and the local residents are up in arms, and I don't blame them one bit. Once we get up on the promenade, you will see why this section is called the Jewel of Brooklyn Heights. Okay guys, let's get started with the promenade. There are several entrances to the promenade. In this case, I chose to enter on Montague Street because I got a parking space there. For those of you guys who are not familiar with the area, if you get off the BQE at Atlantic Avenue, make the first left onto Hicks Street and park anywhere you can in that neighborhood. And let me tell you that parking is at a premium. Now, as you can see, this was early in the morning. If you're going to visit the promenade, I would recommend early in the morning on a Sunday or a holiday, because there's the least amount of traffic and I think you'll get the most enjoyment out of it. It was a cold, windy day, but as you can see, it was sunny out. This is one of a plaque that is actually embedded in the promenade itself, and it is actually simulating the New York skyline. This is one of the jewels of Brooklyn Heights. Looking down, you can see the Cantilevered Roadway. Where the minivan is driving is heading towards Queens. The next roadway is heading towards Staten Island. And on the very bottom is Furman Street. People are out enjoying a crisp morning, and as you can see, the traffic is rather light. Let me tell you that the residents of this area, Brooklyn Heights, are very, very concerned that their promenade is going to be demolished. This is the Gold Star real estate area of Brooklyn. The view is unparalleled, as you can see. And many years ago, there were actually warehouses down here that actually were served by ships. Nobody's sitting outside this morning because it was about 35 degrees. But a lot of people were out enjoying the brisk weather. Those of you guys who've seen a lot of movies, especially New York City movies here, will recognize the promenade because a lot of movies and TV shows were filmed here. Off the top of my head, one comes to mind, The French Connection. I'm sure many of you guys have seen it. And there is so much history. There were a few movies also filmed in these apartments, but I don't know them off the top of my head. This is the original railing on the promenade. Everything is just about original. There were only a few modifications made over the years. I should tell you guys that this entire structure, the cantilevered structure, was actually built during the years 1944 to 1948, and almost all of it is original as it stands. Look at this original sunroom right here. This really intrigued me. The guy let the canopy go to hell. As you can see, it rotted away here. But as you can see, this is really nice and neat, and it's original. That's the important thing. Now, as I'm saying, there is a big construction project planned, and it's coming up within the next, I think, 2 years is when they said it's going to start. Later in the video, I'm going to show you the way the roadway has rotted away. I'm not saying the roadway is in danger of collapse or anything like that, but I want to show you what years of neglect have caused. This is the very end of the promenade closest to the Brooklyn Bridge. This was really a perfect day to get out and take some pictures. I've been wanting to do this for a really long time. Now, this is very interesting right here. This is a staircase to Brooklyn Bridge Park. And what makes this so special is this staircase was built to actually shake. What I mean is, it's not a stationary staircase like a bridge would be actually stationary. If you were to walk on this, and I have walked on it, it actually bows up and down, sort of like a trampoline. If you were going to walk across a trampoline, but not exactly to that extent. Now, unfortunately, the staircase has been closed off, and I'm not sure why. I think they're doing repairs to it. There's another view of it on your right here. But about 3 or 4 years ago, my friends and I walked the staircase, and let me tell you something. You could feel it going up and down, no doubt. Now, I want to tell you something. The city has spent a lot of money refurbishing Brooklyn Bridge Park, and it's really nice down there. That's where we're going to end up later on. This is all original. The railing you see here on the highway and here on the right, all original from 1944 to 1948. I walked through the streets, and let me tell you something. There were so many photogenic buildings. I'll probably have to make a whole new video about them, a separate video. This is a rare look at the edge of the promenade. See? Again, it was actually a clear day. And any of you guys who've watched my videos know we don't get many of them. There's the Statue of Liberty at work. Promenade. Here's just a very small example of some of the rot. Wait till we get down to the highway itself. You're not going to believe what you're going to see. We're coming off the promenade now, and we're going to walk through the street, and we're going to walk over to Atlantic Avenue. As you can see, some concerned tenants already have signs up because they fear that the city is going to take away their promenade and actually use that as a traffic lane. We'll talk more about that when we get down to Furman Street. This is original cobblestone, not really related, but I had to take a picture of it because it just looks plain neat. It's on Geralman Street. There's the firehouse. This to me looks like it might have been an old police station at one time, but I cannot confirm or deny that. Now we're going to start onto the cantilevered section of the Brooklyn-Queens Expressway. This is a very busy intersection. This is the Atlantic Avenue entrance to the BQE. We're going to walk up the ramp here as far as we can as far as we can go, and I'm going to show you a design flaw. The railing that's green on your right is original. We're walking up. Now take a look on your left. See the concrete divider? That is not original. That is protecting the original green railing, which has been deemed structurally inefficient, meaning if a large truck went out of control and hit that railing, there's a very good chance he would plummet through and go down to the highway below. Sad, but true. Now take a look at this. This highway was designed with no acceleration lanes whatsoever. So if you're trying to get on here, you come to a dead stop, you have to mash that accelerator to get out into traffic. Later, we're going to actually go for a ride on this section of highway, and I'm going to show you what it's like. This is Atlantic Avenue underneath the Brooklyn-Queens Expressway. This is the other side of the BQE. This is the side heading towards Staten Island. Now take a look at the deterioration in the concrete. Look at this. There used to be an actual layer of bricks covering all this, but all the bricks fell out over the years and exposed the bare concrete and the rebar. See it? And as you can see, it's cracking right through. I am not saying the highway is in danger of collapse or anything like that. I just want you to see what it looks like right now, because in 2 years, you won't get the chance again. We are now going to walk onto Furman Street, and we're going to check the infrastructure of the BQE itself. And this is what's really concerning. I'm now heading down Furman Street, and we're going onto the Cantilevered Roadway. Here you can see where the city put wire mesh up because the concrete is cracking away and falling down. In the middle here, the wire mesh has actually rotted away. Isn't that something? I decided to take pictures of these. Here you can see an entire panel has fallen out. See where the panel is missing? After a while, I just got sick of seeing so many places like this that I only photographed the most egregious areas. This is an updated lighting fixture. It is not original. This is an older lighting fixture. I believe it's original, but I can't swear to it. Here you can see two missing panels. This one here has been missing so long that they painted right over it. Here again you can see rot. Now take a look where my cursor is right here. I'm going to do a close-up in the next screen, but this is going to concern you. Look at that. Chunks of concrete have just fallen away, and so has the mesh itself, meaning this section of highway could crumble at any moment and hit a passing motorist. This is not the only section like this. We're continuing down Furman Street now. Here's another bad area. Not as bad as what I just showed you. See? Now I want you to get a good look at this right here. Get ready. Look at that. You can clearly see the concrete has fallen right through. And this is dangerous, okay? No, the highway is not going to crumble tomorrow, but this is the kind of thing that's concerning. What really pisses me off, and I have to talk that way because it does, is when we get to the top of the highway, you'll see how the city constantly repaves it to make it look really good on top, but they don't care as much about the base because they know that the average motorist can't see it. Look at that section. Look at this. This entire section has crumbled through. Theoretically, if a heavy truck heading toward Queens went over that and he was overweight, this could actually fall through and hit a motorist heading towards Staten Island. This is a picture I showed you earlier of the Cantilevered Roadway. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to stop the slideshow and we're going to go for a ride on the roadway I just showed you. Then after we go for the ride, we're going to come back and continue with the slideshow. Okay, now we're on Atlantic Avenue and we're getting on the BQE heading east. This will be the roadway that was all fallen through that I just showed you. So let's take a look at the ramp. As you can see, traffic is much heavier now because several hours have gone by since I first started shooting all these pictures. We come up to the stop sign. Now traffic happens to be bumper to bumper right now, but imagine if it wasn't. There is no acceleration lane whatsoever. And this entire Brooklyn-Queens Expressway is notorious for no acceleration lanes. This was a Robert Moses project, as I mentioned, and it was constructed between the years 1944 and 1948. It was constructed this way to conserve space and to minimize intrusion for the residents of Brooklyn. Now, up ahead, here's the promenade starting, and if you look on the right side on top, there's a sign that says 12.9 clearance, which is a blatant lie. That is 13.9. New York City always marks their bridges 1 foot lower than they really are. But take a look at the roadway itself. It's not in bad shape. You can see no evidence, and you would never know that the roadway itself underneath has all fallen through and given way. I can honestly tell you that this cantilevered section has been repaved, I would say, at least 6 times in my lifetime. Okay? And keep in mind, they don't always scrape it down. Sometimes they put coating after coating. But they like to scrape it down so that the 18-wheelers have more clearance. Now, we're hitting traffic because we're approaching the Brooklyn Bridge. Keep in mind, the promenade is still on top of us. As soon as we hit the clearance here, bang, that is the end of the promenade itself. Here is the bridge that I walked over earlier, or should I say overpass. And then coming up will be the exit for the Brooklyn Bridge right after Cadman Plaza. I just wanted you guys to get an idea of what the roadway itself was like on top. Although the design is from 1944, you have to admit the roadway itself is pretty darn smooth. But what the people don't see is what concerns me. Let us now get back to the slideshow and we'll continue on our way. Okay guys, now that you got to ride on the cantilevered section, let's continue along Furman Street and see what we have to see. This is a perfect view of the 4 layers, starting here at Furman Street, BQE level 1, BQE level 2, and on top is the promenade. Here is a walkway because they're actually widening Furman Street on the left here, because eventually they're going to shift Furman Street traffic over to here once the construction starts. Here is an opening to the subway. These are emergency exits. I have never ever seen them in use, but that's what they are. We're approaching the end of the cantilevered section, as you can see on top, and we're heading actually towards Brooklyn Bridge Park. I took these photos because this is all original. The only thing here that has been changed over the years is the pavement. It's been repaved many times, but the guardrail, the walls, the facade, everything is original. Amazing, isn't it? Now I have something interesting to show you here. Look on the bottom left. And does anybody know what that concrete item could be? I'm going to take a close-up picture of it, but I just want to get your ideas on this. There's a 12.9 clearance sign, which is obviously fake and has been there as long as I've been alive. Think about it. Every tractor trailer you see is approximately 13.6, and they use this highway legally with no problem. New York is the only state that mismarks their bridges, and it really drives me crazy. Now, here is that concrete thing that I have no idea what it could be. If any of you can theorize what that is, would you please say it in the comments section below, because it really has me stymied. This is original railing that separates Furman Street from the BQE. This gate actually swings open. Continuing down Furman Street, that is the Brooklyn Bridge you see. Closer shot of the Brooklyn Bridge. This is the entrance to Brooklyn Bridge Park, which was rehabilitated in the last few years and is now a major tourist attraction. They did a really good job, I must say. This Brooklyn Bridge Park also has ferry service. This nice little milk truck has been restored to perfection. I couldn't believe it, so I had to snap a few pictures of that. Here's a Mercedes from the early 60s, I believe. Snapped a few pictures of that as well. You know I'm a car guy, so I couldn't resist. This is a very narrow alley just beyond the Brooklyn Bridge. This is your entrance to the BQE, and this would be heading westbound towards Staten Island. There's another shot of the entrance. Another shot. All original, guys. So yeah, that's basically it for today. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. It was a lot of work to make. A lot of walking from end to end numerous times, numerous levels, taking pictures out in the cold. But guys, if you enjoyed it, that's all I care about. I love doing exploration videos, so if you have any requests, put them in the comment section below. If you'd like to comment on any aspects of the video, whether it be the promenade, the Cantilevered Roadway, the Robert Moses design, anything at all, feel free to do so. Guys, remember, I'm Crazy New York Driver and you're not. Thank you for watching. I will have more New York City exploration videos and eBay videos out in the near future. Rock on and peace!